My guest today is Brandy Thomason McNair, founder, designer, and hardworking owner of Bella Vita Jewelry and Gifts in downtown Little Rock, Arkansas. Brandy knew as early as age 10 she had a love for creating jewelry, but it wasn't until 2008 that she turned her hobby into her business and founded Bella Vita Jewelry. The hardworking adjective used to describe Brandy is true. At the age of 12, she begged her way into a job at her aunt's sandwich shop in Harrison, Arkansas. By the time she was 14, she'd landed a weekend job at Crescent Moon Beads in Eureka Springs. In high school, she enrolled in a work release program that allowed her to leave school early for her jobs. After college, Brandy took the entrepreneurial leap and founded Bella Vita Jewelry in 2008. 6 years later, she expanded her business and secured a retail store front in downtown Little Rock and changed her name to Bella Vita Jewelry Gifts. She didn't really change her name. She just expanded her name. In her small, carefully curated gift shop, BellaVitaJewelry.net creates unique, handcrafted artisan jewelry from local and fair trade items. Brandy's designs are now in over 200 brick and mortar stores across North America. She is often seen as a guest on Arkansas Style. Recently, Bella Vita was the Small Business Spotlight in Arkansas Money and Politics publication. And to name a few others, she was featured in both Arkansas Democrat Gazette and Southern Living magazine. It is a pleasure to welcome to the table the hardworking, authentic, and creative Brandy Thomason McNair. Ever evolving. I think that's your name. I think that's another adjective I could have easily used for you. Brandy McNair, the ever evolver. Girl, you get a lot of press.
I've gotten some press. Yeah.
People love you. They love your story. It's the American dream story. You started with how many dollars?
I mean, what was in my bank account?
Hundreds. Not thousands.
Yeah, not thousands. No, but like I said in the last interview, I had a box of tools and I knew a trade, and that was to make jewelry, you know?
Mm-hmm. I want to tell everybody that I interviewed you in 2018. Mm-hmm. Your business was 10 years old, and you were, had just not long before started a storefront and were doing really well. But since then, now that your business is older, mm-hmm. you've moved locations. Where are you now?
We moved out of the Lafayette building into a gallery space on 6th Street. So just kind of around the corner.
You can see it from the street.
You can see it on the street, yeah. So it's like night and day from the Lafayette building.
Because you were inside the Lafayette.
We were inside, yeah. And it was a beautiful building and it was really cool to be in there, but you had to look for us. Like we were unexpected. We were kind of a surprise, you know?
Yeah. You were a destination store.
Destination for sure. And I would say that we still are a destination even with all the growth in downtown, but we're right next to the Rep. We're right next to the barbershop. We're right next to Threefold. Like those are three really big downtown anchors, you know? And then there's a vintage store across the street and they're doing a lot. So like our little area of 6th Street is coming along.
The destination as a whole.
Yeah, as a whole, the neighborhood, yeah.
So you and I, before we went live on the show, we're talking about how we went and listened to the old interview. And so I decided this was going to be like the PBS Antique Roadshow where they show you the price of what it goes for. and then 5 years later, they come back and say, did it sell for that? So we're going to find out. In that last interview, you said, we talked about the possibility of your husband coming to work for you because you were growing so much. Did he?
No. No, we talk about it a lot. He does a lot of work at the house and our garden because we have expanded and we now have a garden that's a part of the shop too. So he does a lot of that, but he keeps his full-time job. So
I saw that. You have a garden, Instagram garden. Mm-hmm. So you're selling flowers?
Yeah. So we both came from families that grew flowers and his family grew a huge vegetable garden. So that has always been something that we've done. And then during COVID, when we had extra time, we had a really fabulous garden. So I started selling bouquets that summer in the store. And that was really fun because we actually turned it into like, we gave a lot of bouquets away in the beginning and donated a lot of money to the local activists that were protesting against the George Floyd and such that was happening here locally. So I would sell the flowers in the store and then just donate all that money to the protesters that needed help getting out of that situation.
You are so community minded.
I really am. I know. It's taken me a lot of years to like look back and like think about all the stuff that we've done. But that's kind of how the garden started. We had this fabulous garden because Matt was home all day. I was at the shop, trying to put stuff online and work. And so we just started selling them. And then the next year I did a little bit more in the store. And then the third year I started a subscription. And then this year we did a subscription and I added in a micro flower business, which is selling bulk flowers to restaurants on Main Street.
What's a subscription?
So the flower bouquet subscription is you sign up for 8 or 10 weeks. I can't remember. It's a set amount and you come by my store and pick up your bouquet every week, or you pay a little bit extra and I deliver it to your front door.
You don't deliver it. Please tell me.
Actually, I do. And I love it. And I'll tell you about that in a minute too.
Why can't you tell me about that now?
Oh, I can tell you about that right now.
That's a secret.
I started delivering orders during COVID also because we had to do what we had to do. And I realized how much I get stuck in my downtown bubble.
Uh-huh.
And I had the best time driving around Little Rock. So I would wait. I would only deliver on certain days, So I'd have like 10, 12, I don't know how many orders to deliver. And I would have the best time. Like I would stop and run an errand for myself and I would go take an order. I would map my way out on Google Maps before I left the house because I didn't want to backtrack.
Sure.
So when it comes to the flower subscription, if I can get 3 or 4 customers to pay for delivery, I'll just go have that exciting, fun day to myself driving around. And then I also, 2 of my subscribers were business friends of mine. So I got to check in with them every week this summer when I delivered their bouquet.
Talk about how it's
So
fun.
it was like, no, I don't have time to do that. But did it help me grow? And like, was it good for my soul? Yeah.
I read, this is really weird, but I was at the salon, the blowout bar this morning, getting my hair blown out. And the girl sitting next to me, when I told her I was going to interview you, she said, "Oh, I'm with the van."
Uh-huh.
And she started telling me about how you donate socks or something. What are you doing with the van? And for our listeners, the van is the homeless van that goes around and gives supplies to the homeless people in town. So what are you doing with the van?
We have, ever since we've been in a brick and mortar store, we've taken donations so people can bring in gently used items or brand new items. And, sometimes we'll ramp it up during holiday seasons. Or if it's really cold out, we'll find out what they need and we'll put it out on our social media and say, this is what they're looking for. Because we have a lot of storage space, so I can store that until the van folks can come and get it. Or I've just started handing it out to folks on the streets too, because, like toothbrushes and toiletries and sweaters and shoes. Because I know you guys probably see it over here, but there's a lot of folks that don't have adequate clothing or shoes. And so we're accepting these donations, but I've also started just dispensing it myself too, as people come by or come in or I see them.
So by doing that, I think a lot of people would think, well, I don't want to, get a lot of homeless people coming to my store. So do you have people hanging out in your store and driving off your regular customers?
For me, it's not been a problem. I've had a few women that come back and it's just really heartbreaking because some of them want something, some of them don't ask for anything, but everyone's human. So that's how I'm going to treat you until I have a reason not to. But, it hasn't turned into a problem. And there's a few people that come back and I know it's mental health and drugs that's keeping them from, being off the streets. They know that I don't give out money. I give food and clothing if we've got stuff, so.
And then during our tornado episode, really not even been a year ago, we had a horrible tornado come through Little Rock and displace a lot of people. What did you do for that?
So we, it didn't affect us downtown. I live downtown and work downtown and, I was like, I can't just go open for business, but we ended up opening, we volunteered to help anyone that needed it, but nobody took us up on it. And so we ended up opening the next day and then did kind of like a little silent auction. And then a couple weeks later, we did a little event and raised money and donated all that. And we also took donations for the victims and I would drive those out west every week or so.
So when you drove them out west, who were you driving them to?
Out to the church that was on Shackleford and Markham, I think.
And how do you find out about the places of needs for all of your community work that you want to do? Is it just internet research and you find out about something?
Well, and a lot of friends are working in these nonprofits and, word of mouth gets around. I try to find the best, what I align with the most,
Because I do worry about giving money to things that don't go to the things I want them to go to.
Yeah, and the van, I like that they assist with downtown specifically. And there's some other nonprofits that we work with too that I've learned more about in the recent years as well.
So all right, enough about that. Let's go on to your American. I love that part of you, and I want and I just think that is the future of America. To me, it reminds me of when we were young in the 60s and we were hippies and we thought we were going to change the world with love and peace and all of that. And then all of the hippies grew up to be yuppies and we all got greedy and it just all changed. But yeah, I love.
There's still hope.
There's still hope. But the millennials, and I don't know, are you a millennial?
I was born in 82. I'm not sure what
I'm not
I am.
either.
On the cusp, I think.
On the cusp. That's what I thought too. Yeah.
They're so nonprofit driven. And I just love the way that you're using that in your business. And I think that's one of your reasons you're successful is that you're so community minded because you're a woman in business for 15 years. You're doing something right. So let's talk about your American Dream story. You went to work at 12, as I said in the opening, at Harrison, Arkansas. Then you went to the Crescent Moon bead store in Eureka Springs. Did you take a gap year before you went to college?
I went straight to community college because I had a scholarship to the community college in Harrison. So I went straight there. And then I moved to Eureka Springs and did a year at NWAC and over in Rogers, their community college. Then I took a year off. And then I started the university after that.
At the University of Arkansas?
U of A.
In Fayetteville? And majored in interior design. Did they have a jewelry class for you to major in?
No.
Is that so? If you want to be in the business of art, you are the second or third person I've interviewed that says, well, there wasn't really a degree in what I wanted. So I got an interior design degree.
Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do in school. And a friend just kind of laid it out for me. She was like, I think you'd be good at these things. And I chose interior design.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
Do you recommend it?
I love it. Yes. It was a very hard program. It's an accredited program. I learned so much. I really loved it. But I have this passion for this other stuff. So, but I'm kind of incorporating design and decorating back into the business as well. So
they all blend together.
It really does, It really does.
Interior decorating teaches you balance and color and things that you need in all art forms, I think.
And I really love space planning. Like putting things where they
Your
go
store
where it
is
makes sense.
A prime example of that. Yeah, it's adorable.
Thank you. I drive my friends and my staff crazy because I'm always moving it around. But I'm like, this is what keeps us alive.
Reshuffled every time. Yeah. Also, it keeps it an interesting space.
Yeah. Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about your store. So I haven't been to your new store. I guess I'm going to have to take a trip downtown.
Yeah, we should go together.
Yeah, I think you should road trip.
Yeah. Let's do it. Yes.
Okay. So you moved to Little Rock. And did you found Bella Vita before you moved to Little Rock or after?
No, I moved down here in 2007 and then I started Bella Vita in 2008.
What'd you think when you moved to Little Rock?
I loved it. I got a job at an architecture firm. So I had a good job, vacation, benefits, a paycheck. I fell in love with Little Rock, but I was really drawn to downtown. Like I lived in Stiff Station, worked in West Little Rock, which wasn't my favorite, but I would come down to the River Market on the weekends and I was just enamored by all the old buildings. And so, fast forward a few years and starting a business and I have a store downtown.
So before we go to break and then we come back and we're going to talk about the business of jewelry and about your designs. Let's do the Antique Roadshow recap from the first time. What happened to Boss Lady magazine? Because I think that may be where I first met you. You came and interviewed me for your publication, Boss Lady.
Yeah.
And it's not up. I went to the website. It's gone.
Well, I think we still have it. We've just redone our website a few times and that blog's just going to be so far back. So I think they're still on there so people can read them. But I think we ended with 52 altogether over 2 years, maybe.
It's a lot of work.
It's so much work. And
Thank you.
I look at your radio show and I'm like, it's consistent. They don't miss a beat. And people, this is a lot of work. A weekly show is a lot of work.
I've been blogging since 2004.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot. So I want to tell you, Boss Lady, if you put it in, gets a 404 return.
Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Website errors.
Just so you know.
Thank you.
Okay. Another thing we talked about besides your husband coming to work there is Las Vegas show. You were going to start maybe doing the Las Vegas show.
How funny is that? Because we are signing up for it to do it this winter.
First time?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we're adding 2 trade shows. We used to do Atlanta and New York pre-COVID, and now we just stuck with Atlanta. And so we're adding in Philadelphia and then Vegas. So I'm going to go to 3 trade shows.
Whoa.
And honey, those trade shows, exhibiting at those at those wholesale shows is a job.
It's a job, but I'm older and I know more and I'll put an extra day in to pad my travel time. And
yes.
Yeah, there's no hustle left in me. So we know how to do it now.
All right. You were actually only open 4 days a week back then.
Mm-hmm. We changed it to 5. I'm still closed on Sundays and Mondays. We do open 7 days a week at all of December, and we'll open a full week around Valentine's and Mother's Day. But I just can't let go of my 2 days a week.
No, life-work balance. Life-work balance, especially if you're gardening all the time.
Yeah.
All right, this is a great place to take a break. We're speaking today with Miss Brandy McNair, founder and artist of Bella Vita Jewelry in downtown Little Rock, Arkansas. Jewelry making is a popular hobby for many, but Brandy has turned her hobby into a very successful business. When we come back, we'll talk about the business of jewelry making and about her one-of-a-kind personalized jewelry lines. You might find a gift idea. We'll be right back.
Do you have something to say? Say it in flying colors. I'm Kerry McCoy, owner of flagandbanner.com, where flags tell stories and banners get attention. Whether it's for your business, organization, or special event, custom flags and banners will make your message soar. Visit flagandbanner.com for high quality, quick turnaround. We're not just any flag company, we're the experts that answer the phone.
We're speaking today with Miss Brandy McNair, jewelry designer and founder of Bella Vita Jewelry and Gifts in Little Rock, Arkansas, a retail wholesale store full of unique, handcrafted jewelry being assembled right here in her downtown store. If you're just tuning in, before the break, we talked about how community-minded Brandy is. And, it's just endearing. And I think it really is the future of small businesses. I think that is how small businesses grow. She's been in business now for 15 years and she's doing something right. So if you're just tuning in, go back and listen to that and all the other things she does. We call, what did I say? You were ever evolving because now you have a flower garden business on top of all of that. So now we're going to talk about Bella Vita Jewelry is now, like I said, 15 years old. And with all entrepreneurs, you start off working in the business and before long, you're working on the business. Talk about that and how you've managed to do that. And do you even like it that way? I mean, you're a jewelry designer.
I know.
You're just talking about how you're making deliveries yourself.
I know. It's funny that you bring that up because I honestly didn't make jewelry for about 9 months recently. And it was hard. It was really hard on me because that's what I do. And I was like, I'm not the best at all these other things, running the business or working in the business. I'm the best at making jewelry. So I've been spending this time like trying to figure out who do I hire, who do I delegate to get me back into the jewelry making. So yeah, that's perfect timing on that.
You will never get back into jewelry making.
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
I wonder, yeah.
And when there are some, bookkeeping is one of the first jobs you should hire for because there's a lot of bookkeepers out there and a lot of small business owners that I've mentored have said, I can't let go of invoicing and I can't let go of the money and I can't let go of paying the bills. Actually, those are the first things you should give away is the secretarial kind of office work.
Yeah.
Administrative.
Yeah. That keeps you really busy.
But you've got to have someone you really trust.
Yeah. 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 And what's really challenging for me is a lot of folks want to work remotely and I'm just not good at that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I do have a good accountant and that was actually one of the first things that I hired out. So we worked
But not
well
an accountant,
together.
a bookkeeper
Oh,
that works
yeah.
in your business.
Yeah. Well, we do some of both. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I work on it too. So,
So when did you decide to be Bella Vita Jewelry and Bella Vita Jewelry and Gifts?
I added the and gifts when we moved to the bigger shop, just so people didn't think we were just jewelry. But most everyone just stops at Bella Vita now.
Yeah. So when you do wholesale, do you have a wholesale site? Because I noticed that you are now doing wholesale, selling to over 200 small stores.
Yeah, and it's actually probably more than that because that's old. We started doing wholesale almost 10 years ago, also 9 years ago, I guess, in Atlanta. And then I started doing New York. So I was doing 4 trade shows a year, 2 each season. And so that's how we've been picked up by all these stores. But a few years ago, there was an online platform that got started also called Fair. So I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
No,
but,
I haven't. What is it?
It's kind of like, what Etsy is?
Yeah.
It's kind of like an Etsy for wholesalers.
Oh.
It started out as being like all handmade and it's a Silicon Valley startup. situation.
Yeah.
It's gotten really big.
Right?
Do what?
FAIRE,
Mm-hmm.
right? Yeah.
It's gotten really, really big.
I've gotten ads for them before.
But they are our online platform in addition to the trade shows that we do. And like I was just saying, I'm adding in. So we'll do Atlanta, Vegas, and Philadelphia for the first set of trade shows next year.
So what's the barrier of entry for wholesale? Because wouldn't everybody buy wholesale if they could? Is it because you got to buy a quantity?
So for this online site, you have to, most stores charge a minimum order. And then the site is supposed to check your credentials and make sure that you are a legit store. Like I've talked to a few people that said they couldn't get buying, like they couldn't get an account because they were really strict about their credentials. And then if you visited me at a wholesale trade show, you have to get into that same way, like prove that you have a storefront or that you have an online business or whatever. So it's not just open to the public.
I wrote down a couple of quotes you said when offering words of advice to aspiring entrepreneurs and small business owners. But if you were to give advice to someone starting their own business, what would you say? Come on, girl.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know if I would do it again. I don't know.
What do you mean?
It's so much work. It's your life.
You don't think you would do another business again?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'd
just
go work
started
for a
a flower
nonprofit
business.
I know. I know. But the thing is, no one's ever going to let me out of this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, right.
You are exactly right.
This is it. And I love it. No, I love it. But starting fresh, like I didn't know when I started Bella Vita in 2008, I had no idea there'd be wholesale. I had no idea there'd be employees. I mean, I kind of always thought about a store, but I was just selling at farmers market and trying to sell to stores and
Being
things
a
like
jewelry
that.
maker.
Yeah, and waiting tables and like, what am I doing? And then everything just lined up, and here I am with employees and hardly making jewelry. And
How many employees?
I think right now I just hired 2 this week, so I think we're 6 or so, but one full time and everybody else is part time. So yeah.
And they just sit in the back room in your store in downtown Little Rock and just solder and twist.
So Megan does. Megan's our maker.
And glue.
Megan's
Solder
a full-time
twist.
jewelry maker. And then Mickey runs our wholesale. So she's back there kind of like admin position.
Oh, you do have someone admin.
Yeah, she's running wholesale. I was actually thinking about that today. Like my inbox is rather quiet these days because it's going to, I have figured that out, like how to get things out of my inbox. Because Mickey's running the wholesale side. So she catches all the emails.
Describe your day.
Oh, goodness. Well, lately I've been getting up and walking before the sun comes up, or I watch the sunrise. I'm a morning person. Everyone makes fun of me, thinks I'm crazy. So me and Chester, we also have a shop dog. I don't know if you guys have seen that or noticed him. Chester, he's a big 100-pound lab, Chesapeake Bay mix. So we get up and walk, and then we'll do breakfast, maybe check email, and then do gardening, and then head to the store, and then just start doing what we have to do.
Putting out fires.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I feel like we've been trying to define our roles lately, all of us. And I feel like I'm the director or the captain.
You are.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah.
So I went to a seminar probably when I was about 40, and it was about how to manage. I think it was probably at the Small Business Development Center. And he got up and said, how many of you feel like you're a firefighter all the day and you spend all your day putting out fires? And I was like, so proud of myself. I raised my hand. I was like, me. He said, then you're not managing. Yep. And I was like, oh, wait. It's like
backsliding.
Somebody asks you if you like rock and roll and you say, yeah. And then they go, you're old, you know?
Yeah.
So I did that one time.
Yeah.
And so anyway, he said, you should have procedures in place so that you're not firefighting all day. And I came back and I read some books, and I started to really define where I was firefighting all the time and really learned to analyze it better and thought about, what can I do? And then what is executable? Because there's a lot of things you want to do, but they're not executable. What is feasible to do?
Yeah. What's feasible?
So here's what you said. You ready to hear your quote? This is a darling quote.
Is this from the last interview?
No, this is from what I read online. Everybody interviews her. I'm telling you, there are 1,000 interviews. I could get 1,000,000 quotes if I wanted to. All right, here's your quote. What advice would you give to someone starting their own business? Start slow and grow organically. Be grateful and thankful for every single person that hires you or walks in your door, and show them that you are appreciative of their business. Give the absolute best customer service, even when you're in the worst mood. Take yourself and your business seriously, and remember to put good in the world, and everything will work out the way it's supposed to. Don't compare yourself to others, ever. Oh, and have fun.
It's pretty good.
Charming.
It's very charming. 110% charming. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So now you got to remember that. You want me to give you this piece of paper so you can stick it up on your refrigerator and remind yourself?
Take that. Yeah, I should. Yeah,
there you go. You're welcome.
Yeah. Souvenir.
Sometimes you have to go back and read that stuff and go, oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
All right. Being authentic is really important to you. I mean, before we got together, I said, you said, I didn't realize it's going to be video or I'd have worn makeup. And I said, and then you went, no, I probably wouldn't have because it takes too much time and I probably wouldn't have gotten around. So why is being authentic so important to you?
I mean, I don't know. It's just, I am who I am. I don't have anything to hide. I don't know. I think I'm an open book, which can be a good thing or not. It's just who I am.
Another quote. Being authentic. This is like Queen for a day.
The only time, I think the only other people that she can quote this much are like politicians.
Oh my gosh.
I think Brandy is a politician.
She kind of
is.
I lately have said community activist, maybe.
I was going to say active community member. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Community activist. Mm-hmm. I like it. So you said being authentic and being who you are is so immensely important. Be reliable. Do the things you say you're going to do. That has really been instilled in me through running this business. Just be honest. Never any truer words spoken. You know, I always say, I want to be able to do deals on a handshake. Mm-hmm. I think those days are gone for many people, but I think we should try to get those back as much as we can. Shop dog, Chester, here's one more quote, and then we're going to quit. Your shop is your baby, and she has a shop dog. Make sure that whatever you're doing isn't already being done everywhere. Make sure your business and your ideas stand out and you are unique. Take advantage of as many resources as you can do your research. Make sure you're committed to your business because it's a beast. I call my shop my baby. My business doesn't run or survive on its own. Be sure you're ready for that commitment. That's just what you were talking about.
That's what, when people do ask me, I'm like, are you ready to be committed? You know, there's 5 days out of 7 that I don't turn my phone off, you know, and I really don't turn my phone off the other 2 days a week. But when I feel like my shop is open and I have employees, I'm like, I have to be there available, you know, and that's what I tell people. I'm like, are you ready for that commitment? And of course you can go on vacations, but
no,
I feel like,
no,
not really. I mean, we know.
Not in this family.
No, I mean, I check emails when I'm on vacations, but you know, I don't take phone calls or texts. You know, I do have some boundaries.
Yeah, right.
But I'm just saying, like, it doesn't ever stop. It doesn't ever stop.
Mom's called Flag and Banner her 5th child for all of our life.
I get it.
Yeah.
Firstborn.
That's it. Yeah.
I call it my firstborn.
It's your firstborn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's interesting that you said to do something unique that everyone else isn't doing, because you sell jewelry, but I would say that we were just talking about how you're very authentic, and you definitely, Bella Vita is very unique, at least in terms of Little Rock, you know, what you're doing. I just think it's cool that you've taken that philosophy and applied it to something that's pretty common and had success with it.
Yeah. Thanks. And I was really fortunate because I started so long ago. So I have 31 years of the jewelry industry experience. And I know that sounds kind of crazy, but I've seen it all from like shopping at Ben Franklin on the square in Harrison to like stepping up and shopping at a real bead store to like now I go to the biggest gem and mineral show in the world. And I also, since I've been here, I went to India and met gem dealers. And so I'm hoping in the next year or so to go back and do some more of that and do some more designing. We're actually right now working on our first design that I took from a painting I did, sent the image to my guys in India, and they sent me they're about to send me back the sterling silver pendant that they cast from my drawing. And I haven't ever done that before. And that's really exciting for me.
Cool.
That's unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unique.
Yeah.
Where's the biggest gem show that you said?
That's in Tucson, Arizona. It's probably 30, 40 years in the
You
making.
would think it'd be in Arkansas. We're the only diamond state.
I don't know why. I think they choose Arizona because it's in February. It's the beginning of February, end of January, and it's really nice. And it's dealers from all over the world. Like I've seen 2 to 3 story tall geode, amethyst geodes out there. Like things that have to come on boats, you know?
What do you think about us raping the earth?
I think about it a lot, and then it scares the shit out of me. Like it scares me. I don't know if I can say that, but
no, you can.
I don't know how they're getting those big specimens. I mean, museums. I was like, who buys this? And that specific one went to a zoo or a museum in like another country. But I think about that and I'm like, how is there anything left? But we try. So this is another important thing that I do. Like I work with my vendors and I haven't been to where they're making the pendants for us in India, but it's a family, it's a generational business. Like this 20-something-year-old son works for his dad and his uncles who probably worked for their grandparents. And he takes it, I can't wait to go and see and check on things and like make sure that it's all
fair trade
and what I think in my head. And a lot of these things I take people's word too. But then a lot of the companies that we buy our gift items from, not necessarily our jewelry line, but our gift items, they have lots of documentation. So we know that they have been certified fair trade. But
what are your gift items?
So we carry a lot of we have a lot of crystals. So I pick up a lot of crystals when I'm at the gem show.
From Arkansas?
Well, we have Arkansas quartz for sure. Yeah.
Sure.
I haven't gone. I want to go and mine and get bigger Arkansas quartz, but time.
Yeah.
So we do a lot of crystals, lots of incense. I turned Little Rock onto incense, I think. Lots of candles, cute garden stuff since I'm such a big gardener. Cool books. We just got some cool cocktail mixes and lots of fun stuff coming up for Christmas.
How about clothes?
So I tried apparel. Apparel's hard because you have to get so many sizes.
Yeah, they hate it. They make you buy small, mediums, larges, but only and extra larges. But
and then you have no idea who's going to wear what.
And nobody wants the smalls.
And it's a lot of investment. So we tried clothing. We are back down to just doing like one size fits most styles, like baggy kind of. I mean, we're hippie, interesting, one free size clothing. But not focusing on it as much anymore. Focusing more on gift and our jewelry, like doing that up big.
You were in the class of 2019, 40 under 40. What is that? It says you were in the class of 40 under 40. What is the class of 40 under 40?
That was in the gift industry. It was one of the gift companies, one of the gift shows does the 40 under 40. I can't remember the company that did it.
So it's not an Arkansas or a Little Rock thing.
That was a national gift show, gift company.
Oh, so you were 40 under 40 in a national gift show. I get you. So if they want to go to your gardening, it's going to be McNair Garden. What is it?
Well, we just call it's our garden at our house. It's our front and backyard.
It's an Instagram though. What is it?
Yeah. Oh, well, that's just my personal Instagram, Brandy McNair.
Oh, it's not. You don't actually have a website.
It's not private. Mm-mm.
All right, this is a great place to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about jewelry lines, vintage, personal, and a blend of traditional, innovative designs, perfect for someone special for you. We're speaking today with Miss Brandy McNair, jewelry designer and founder of Bella Vita Jewelry and Gifts in Little Rock, Arkansas, a wholesale retail store. From her downtown studio, she creates handmade jewelry known for personalized charms, natural stones, and vintage elements that you've just been hearing about. We'll be right back.
Buying a flag isn't always easy. Luckily, ArkansasFlagAndBanner.com is here to help. Locally owned and operated for more than 40 years, our friendly and knowledgeable staff will help you find just what you're looking for. From flags, to banners, to decorations and more. Shop online or in-store. Come see us today. ArkansasFlagAndBanner.com. We're the experts.
We're speaking today with Miss Brandy McNair, designer and founder of Bella Vita Jewelry in Little Rock, Arkansas, retail wholesale store that is about connecting with the community and encouraging uniqueness. If you're just tuning in, we've talked about gems a little bit. We've talked about her community involvement, and now I really want to talk about her line and the jewelry lines that she has. She has some pretty awesome stuff. You wrote another quote. Sorry.
Cool. We thought we were done with quotes.
She really did her research.
Yeah.
Since 2008, Bella Vita Jewelry has been more than a brand, McNair says. It's a way of life, inspiring you to tell your story through handcrafted elegance and personal style. Our collections, made by hand in Little Rock, Arkansas, blend traditional craftsmanship with innovative design. We are passionate creators. We don't just craft jewelry. We craft connections, celebrate community, and encourage uniqueness. Very nice. Let's talk about the different jewelry lines. I have the personal charms that I have on my wrist that I wear. Grady, sun gray, don't I wear these every day?
Those amber ones are.
I wear these every day. My daughter-in-law gave them to me, and I wear them next to my mother's Timex watch that is 20 years old. Timex watches were good back then. So Arkansas is a diamond state, but you were just saying in the last segment that you go to the big show in Santa Fe, I think it was. Tucson, and get stones from all over, and that you might be sourcing some from India, which is really exciting. Are you a gemologist?
I'm not. No, I have considered. I've wanted to take a geology class, or even there's the Gemological Institute of America that offers lots of classes, but I haven't ever taken any gem classes yet.
Is it a college degree? Do you have to do that much, or can you get up?
Yeah, there's degrees you can get. I'm not sure what like classification they are or anything, but there's the GIA is really well respected, and a lot of fine jewelers will go there for gemological
You know so
studies.
much from your 30 years in the business. I mean, you could be a gemologist, a metallurgist, someone that works with metal, you know?
Yeah.
And you're a craftsman, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about those different materials and their techniques. So one of your lines is called Vintage Redux. Is it Redux?
Redo.
Oh, is that how you spell redo?
Yeah.
It's French.
Well, it's one way you can spell it.
She's just trying to mess with me because I just want to tell our listeners.
I thought it looked cooler than
redo, Redux. She thinks she's Elon Musk.
Don't.
He loves that X.
Yes,
he puts it in everything.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I did this 15 years ago. That was one of the first lines I did. So
nice.
You and Elon. All right. Heirloom button collection. Tell our listeners what that is. It's so cute.
Yes. So my grandmother was an antique button collector and dealer. She dealt buttons in her antique business. And so when I was younger, I would sort through the buttons with her, and I have my own collection, and now I have her collection, and we're opening a button museum. We can talk about that in a minute. But years ago, I dreamt up this line of jewelry where we could make a mold of the antique piece and then cast it in metal, in bronze and sterling. And so I took a bunch of classes, experimented a lot, and then made several different designs. And so that's what we've really been wholesaling for years, is those pieces made from the antique button collection that I have. So each year we have, like, the very first collection that we took to wholesale was called In the Garden. So each flower there were 7 or 8 different flowers, a
Flower
butterfly.
buttons?
Yeah. And then we cast them into pendants for the necklace. So the whole collection is like 6 flowers, a bee, and a butterfly. And then they're on these beautiful watercolor cards that a local artist did. And then when we launched that collection, we adopted a section of State Highway down by Hot Springs and planted wildflower seeds.
I've always wanted to do that.
You should do it. It's called Operation Wildflower. It's through the Highway Department.
Oh, I've seen signs.
Shout out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can connect you if you want.
I do.
It's very affordable. You really just buy the seed. That's how it works. You buy the seed and they plant it and put the sign up.
Well, you know, I'm a capitalist pig. So do they put my sign up that says Arkansas Flag and Banner?
They sure do.
All right. That's all I care about.
Mine says this is adopted or maintained by Bella Vita Jewelry, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that so much. And I'm a flower person also.
Oh, yes. You asked why flowers earlier, because flowers make everything better.
I swear they do.
Yeah. So working in the garden is my therapy, and then the bouquet is the bounty I get to share.
Well, that's where I draw the line.
Yeah.
I don't like to work in the garden.
Oh my God, I love it.
I tried.
Weeding, digging in the
it's my
dirt.
thing. Yeah.
just cutting the flowers.
I like cutting the flowers.
Pruning.
That's actually what we did. We got Mom a flower garden so she could just go out and cut the flowers.
And prune, yeah.
Uh-huh.
My husband does all the heavy lifting, so we'll give him the shout out.
Oh, nice.
So he does all the
What is your
hard
husband's
labor
name? We
in
always
the
talk
garden.
about your husband.
Matthew.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
You said that
Matthew.
earlier. So let's talk about the next one. I love the whole vintage redo in the garden collection, lockets. I love a locket. They're not real popular right now, though, or they have not been
come
around.
And go. They
All
come
right.
and go. You might not find them everywhere, but they come and go.
What do you put in? What do people put in their lockets?
You can put a picture. You can put like essential oils if you have a little piece of fabric. I don't know. You can put treasures. Some people back in the day would put hair
Yeah, I've
of
got
loved ones, like mourning jewelry.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's really sweet.
I don't. I have lockets in my personal jewelry from my family that have pictures, but I haven't put a picture in one in
So are the lockets
years.
heavy?
Not necessarily.
So would you put them on a charm bracelet or would you put them on a necklace?
You could, or a necklace. Yeah. We have some tiny ones that you could put on a bracelet, but they would probably open. You might not want them to open on your
I'm
bracelet.
fascinated by lockets because they kind of remind me of Victorian, and you're always like, what's inside of that little locket? But the few that I've had have been heavy. And I don't like heavy things around my neck.
Were they big?
That didn't seem particularly big, but you know, it is a piece of metal that opens and closes with a latch.
Yeah.
Let's talk about gemstone beads, a colorful collection, gemstones and crystals. What are all these? What is the Cosmos collection?
So the Cosmos was a collection from 2 years ago, I guess. It was one of the first collections I made with gemstones that we had custom cut for us. So there was a lot of crescent moon gemstones and stars, and then just a lot of new designs that kind of reminded me of the Cosmos.
What do you make them out of?
The main pieces in that collection were like a crescent moon shaped gemstone. And so we would
What is
string
the
it on a
gemstone?
wire. We had Amazonite, citrine, iolite.
Do you believe that all those stones have powers?
I don't think that they hurt anything.
Like these right here that I wear all the time?
Citrine, maybe? Yeah.
What is the power for a citrine?
I'd have to look in my book.
I think it's...
I don't remember. I can't remember all that. I can identify stones, but I cannot remember the properties off the top of my head.
That's
What's
so
your
cool.
favorite stone?
She's looking at all of her.
I know,
For
I
those of you
don't-
on the radio, she's like looking at all of her rings on her fingers.
I'm pretty fond of labradorite. Are you familiar with that? Labradorite.
My
It's this really
favorite.
pretty stone that changes colors.
I have my favorite that ring that you bought me in Dallas, that big stone. That was
It's kind of like
labradorite.
a gray brown, and then it flashes in the light, and it's got this blue flash in it.
So it's not like a moonstone?
Kind of similar, but
they-
it's a different color.
So labradorite is also sunstone, right? Isn't that what they call it?
I'm not sure about that one.
Somebody told me that because it's like the antithesis to moonstone.
Maybe.
Like they have opposite energies or whatever.
That would be
So,
something to learn.
Yeah, we should
I'll have
figure
to
that
look,
out.
yeah.
And the chains that you put these on, what's your favorite? Do you do gold? Do you do silver? Do you do rope?
Yeah, we do a lot of, so we do everything from like gold plated, silver plated to sterling silver, 14 karat gold fill to fine jewelry now because we work with a fine jewelry artist here in town as well.
Fine jewelry meaning?
Meeting your gold and platinum and sterling. And like, say over the years, I've had a lot of people come to me and want, an engagement ring. I don't necessarily do that, but I can work with you or I could draw it and you can send it, you can give it off to someone. But now we work with a local jeweler. Her name is Julia, and she is our go-to metalsmith. So she does all that. Like she made this ring, the ring that I'm wearing on my ring finger now, I had a bunch of old antique pieces that were scrap gold. So I gave her my handful of gold, and then a couple of those pieces had real diamonds in them. So we worked on the design. She drew it and then cast it for me and then popped my diamond in it.
Do you do repairs to jewelry?
Yeah, we do repairs all the time. Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it's made of. What
No,
material.
because we'll either fix it ourselves or we'll be the middle person for Julia.
You've got to be careful when soldering jewelry because it can change.
Yeah.
I've made that mistake.
Yeah. It's the flame. Yeah.
It's what?
It's fire. It's a flame.
It changes the color of it.
Yeah.
What is the block party?
Block Party was the first collection that I made after not making jewelry for 9 months.
So it's new.
So we launched that over the summer, I think. And then
During the block parties. Didn't y'all help host those downtown alleyway parties?
we have in the past, but it didn't correlate with anything.
Oh, okay,
like
never
that,
mind.
no. So that was just the first collection that I made from this period of not making.
What's it look like?
It is a lot of gemstones. It's got some hand stamped charms. And let's see. Oh, some really pretty, beautiful carved shell pendants that I got in Arizona when I was at market. Some one of a kind stuff. We're really focusing on launching more and launching smaller collections of things so that we have 2 or 3 launches a year instead of like one big,
Don't you have
release.
something coming up?
Tomorrow is our Harvest Moon party. So we are launching the next collection tomorrow. That's our last collection this year. So I think I'm going to do this every year. I'm going to work smarter, not harder. So I think every year Bella Vita is going to have a harvest party around the Harvest Moon.
Perfect.
And that's when we'll launch. We'll do 2 collection launches a year. So I'll do a jewelry launch in the fall and a jewelry launch in the spring. Yeah.
So this show will air after that.
Yeah.
So what don't you have something else coming up?
Our 15-year party.
What's that?
That's
15 years. What are you going
15
to
years
do?
in business.
When are you going to do it?
I'm not sure. Well, we always celebrate it during Second Friday Art Night because that's been a passion project of mine since I opened a storefront. I've volunteered on that committee for that many years, 8 or 9. So it's going to be part of that. We're still planning it. That date is in November, the second Friday of November. That's as far as I've gotten. So
you're going to do it then?
Yeah. I think we'll celebrate the whole month of November, really.
Before we move on to all your community work, which we're going to end on all your block parties so people can come down there, because I like the way you said it's a great date night. Bring your girlfriend down there. It's a fantastic date night. So we're going to recap on that. But I like the area of your website that's personalized, that you can go in and you can use birthstone jewelry. You can make charm bracelets. I loved
Thank you.
the stamped cuffs. I am in love with the stamped cuffs. I think I'm going to get one for my husband for Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, like cufflinks?
No.
It's like this is a cuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
like a bracelet. It's a bracelet.
It's so fun because we use we use brass, copper, and stainless steel, and it's such a great price point. You can get anything stamped on it. We also do sterling silver for a higher price point. But they're just such a great gift because we literally stamp each letter or design stamp
right there in the location.
Yeah.
I'm going to get Grady, and if he hears this, I'm sorry, Grady, but I'm going to get him a stamped cuff because he likes wearing little bracelets around his
What do you call them? A tag? They're like ID bracelets, but there's a better name for them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. This is a great place to take a break. We're speaking today with Miss Brandy McNair, founder and designer of Bella Vita Jewelry in downtown Little Rock, Arkansas, where she and her staff design, assemble, and ship their one-of-a-kind creations to over 200 stores in North America. When we come back, Brandy connects with us. Learn about upcoming events and how to get something special made for you or someone you love. We'll be right back.
Hey, Hog fans, it's time to get Razorback ready and call those Hogs to victory. At Flag and Banner, we have all your game day swag. Hog hats, license plates, banners, flags, and more. Come bust out your Arkansas pride today.
We're speaking today with Miss Brandy McNair, owner-operator of Bella Vita Jewelry in downtown Little Rock, Arkansas, a wholesale retail store full of baubles and bangles and designers creating one-of-a-kind jewelry in the downtown studio. We talked about all of her lines before the break, but now I want to go ahead and talk about her community involvement and tell you how you can go down there and see her store. She's open 5 days a week. She's closed Sunday and Monday. She's got a fantastic website online to go down there to see if you kind of like it. I want to know about those drop necklaces with the jewel on the end. Mm-hmm. What are those?
They're gemstones. They're the Zara drop necklace. Uh-huh. It's a gemstone. That was the first gemstone that we had cut for us.
And where do those come from?
Those come from a factory in China. So they mine it and they cut it over there.
And so when you come to the store, you can tell us what gemstone it is.
Yeah.
And so they cut it. I wondered if you were cutting gemstones in your area in there.
No, we have some lapidary stuff, but I've never experimented with it. Stonework.
Oh.
Cutting the stones and drilling them and faceting them and...
So when you came to Little Rock, you said you had no idea when you took the job and moved to Little Rock that you would fall in love with the city and start a business here.
No. No.
And now you are in love with the city.
Yes.
As we talked about earlier, you are really deep into the community and you kind of make me feel a little bit guilty. Sun Gray, when we get off, I'm going to go do something.
Okay.
More than what I'm doing.
I think you've done a lot.
Well, I did restore the Dreamland Ballroom.
Look at this place.
Yeah. I don't know, but I definitely think we should, if you're just tuning in, we're talking, Bella Vita has adopted a highway and put flower seed all over it. I've thought about doing that and I didn't even know that you could actually do that. I thought you had to be part of the highway department to get to do that.
Project, right?
Operation Wildflower.
Wildflower.
Well, and I guess I was fortunate because one of my best friends works there, and she used to be in charge of it. But that's how I found out about it.
Okay,
so.
I've got it. We got it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to get hooked up. Every time I do this show, I learn something or I get inspired by something. So
I'll send you the info.
Okay, thank you. So let's talk about your permanent jewelry, second Saturday of the month that you do. It's a walk-in welcome. So tell us that every Saturday. What times?
That is every second Saturday is 12 to 3. It's a new it's been around for a couple of years, I guess, but it's where you get a chain soldered onto your wrist or your neck or your ankle.
What?
I think she can even do rings. Yeah, so these 3 bracelets don't ever come off. So they're gold and silver chains. And so this is Julia, the fine jeweler that we work with. She comes to the store every second Saturday to do
and gets you permanently jewelry.
So
permanently
she
put
has
on.
a laser, like a soldering laser. So she just solders it right onto your wrist. And if I want to cut them off someday, I can. You know.
How do you decide what jewelry to wear? You've got a ton of jewelry.
I have a ton of jewelry. You should see how much jewelry. I don't know. These pieces don't really come off. These are just some, a lot of my jewelry is sentimental. So like all the necklaces are sentimental to me. All these bracelets are sentimental, been given to me. Or then I make something that I really love.
How do you polish them if they don't ever come off?
The more you wear it, these are just staying shiny because I wear them. We have all sorts of polishing cloths at the store, and we will help you in any way. But really, the more you wear it, the shinier it stays.
Gives it kind of depth.
Because it's rubbing against each other all day too.
So how about the second Friday art walk that you just mentioned a minute ago?
Yep, second Fridays. We've been doing that for years. Our next one in October is we usually feature a pop-up artist. And so we're featuring Kate Culberson of Posse Paper Goods. And then the second Friday in November will be our birthday.
What's
party.
a pop-up artist?
So just invite one of our artists that sell. She makes art prints, and she's a graphic designer, I guess you would say, artist. And she will come in with some extra product and pop up for the night and make sales.
Pop-up?
Pop-up.
So describe to people who don't know what the art walk is. What is it?
Second Friday is an after hours event every second Friday of the month in downtown Little Rock. So there's like Historic Arkansas participates, Old State House. The library is a little bit in transition because of their remodeling, but they were always been a participant. We stay open late. There's a few other locations, and we're always trying to, build it and make it better. So it's just good to keep an eye on it.
Those are kind of far away from each other.
Kind of, yeah. But, at the end it's all walkable.
Is it?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, because we're really just like 4-ish blocks from Ham.
What are you on Main and 6th?
We're 6th and Main, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
like some Fridays, there might be a show at the Rep, and then all the restaurants are open, of course, So it's just a fun date night. Like everybody has a different exhibit going on. Sometimes there's live music at some of the venues.
How do people learn about that? Is there, I guess,
Second Friday Art Night on Facebook and Instagram is the best way. Yeah.
Is that the best way for people to contact with you, or do you like them to go to bellavita.net?
Well, we have a brand new, beautiful website.
It's gorgeous.
Just launched last week. Thank you.
Is it bellavita.net?
It's bellavita.jewelry.net.
Bella Jewelry.
And we have, you can call us, you can text us, you can come see us in person. Anyway,
just close Sunday and Monday. Yeah. I love your calendar on your website too.
Thanks.
It really helps you see what you might want, all these things that we've just talked about.
Yeah, we literally, we've literally just wrapped up that website. It's been a lot of details and work.
I have enjoyed visiting with you so much. It's the second time I've seen you. We don't see each other enough. We have to schedule an interview together to
catch up.
Yeah. I'm going to come down and see your new store, though.
I would love that. Yes.
Sun Gray, you and I are coming together.
Yes, absolutely.
We're going to go down there. All right. In closing, to our listeners, thank you for spending time with us. We hope you've heard or learned something that's been inspiring or enlightening, and that whatever it is, will help you up your business, your independence, or your life. I'm Kerry McCoy, and I'll see you next time on Up in Your Business. Until then, be brave and keep it up.
If you liked this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking on the picture in the center of the screen. For more of Kerry's interviews, click either video on the right of the screen. And as always, thank you for watching.